Training for your next big race and not sure about your nutrition? Well, Precision Fuel and Hydration are sponsoring the show this month, and their free online planner has you covered. It calculates exactly how much carbs, sodium and fluid you need to smash your goals. Me and the team at Inside Running Podcast swear by the 90 gram resealable gel to have on our long runs. It's been a game changer for us. If you want to crush your race day strategy, hit the link in the show notes, try the planner and grab 15% off your first order with the code IR-SPRING2025. That's IR-SPRING2025. Hit the link, grab your discount and crush those goals. Now on to the episode. Welcome to episode number 410 of the Inside Running Podcast. A massive thank you for being with us for another episode. We appreciate you tuning in. Big episode this week. The Australian team has been announced for the upcoming World Championships. We'll be talking about who and who isn't on that team. We've also got a bit of a competition coming with Axel Coffey. There are a few track races over in Germany. The Burnley Half Marathon happened down here in Victoria. Fifth Avenue Mile, Great North Run. It's a bit in here, Croaks, and we also have the highly anticipated shoe review of the Asics Megablast and Sonicblast, some whispers, some moose on the loose, a listener question. It is loaded, Croaks. Well done putting this agenda together. Thought it was a bit of a quiet last 7 days, but it turns out it's not. Welcome to you up there in Canberra, sitting in his AIS vest. How's that for a bit of a flex?
Yeah, it's never a quiet week in the running world, Brady. There's always something happening, but excited about tonight. The big moose is back. The gang's back together.
Oh, boy, I'm excited to have him back on the line. He has been a star the last 7 or 8 weeks on Road to Sydney. By far the most successful Road to series that we've ever put together. And the show's only as good as the host, Croaks. And this man has been driving that ship with Leanne Pompiani and Nick Earl, the 2:14 marathoner. Julian Spence, he went to the World Champs in 2019. How are you going?
Pretty good, thanks. Good to be back here. Tune out, not have to do any work. Just come in for special comments, that kind of business. Real relaxing when it's like this, when I'm the Kane Corns of the podcast world.
Just chuck in a few one-liners, create some controversy.
Road to Sydney was good, Moose. I actually did miss a couple of episodes because I was injured and I wasn't running.
They're still there, mate.
I know they're still there, but I did listen to the finale while I was because it was like a 2-hour 15 episode. I put it on when I was driving to the gym, had it for my whole gym session, had it back in the car when I picked Lily up from school, and then finished it off while Coles was having swimming lessons. So it was hard to get 2 hours 15 in.
He's against these long episodes, Moose.
You're the only bloke in the world that doesn't like a long episode.
Mate, I'm giving you a compliment. I actually really enjoyed it. And it was good. It wasn't good, but the fact that you weren't adding much from a running perspective, you then really stepped up in that hosting role.
Well, thank you. But the real star was Leanne. We were along for Leanne's ride, I reckon, and I think it was the perfect kind of showcase of someone you might not have, I guess, seen too much of, heard too much. You know, the distance running media doesn't really profile athletes very well. We don't see them on TV, or there's no YouTube about Leanne Pompiani, so you don't really get an idea. But that's the best thing about those series, is sort of opening the running public to their opening them up to the running public and not exposing, but showcasing their personality. And you get a feel for the person a little more than just hearing her name read out in results each week. Nick was good too. Yeah, Nick was good too.
Both were really good. It's like sometimes you get a bit lucky or unlucky when you put those shows together with the chemistry. But one of my favourite moments of that reflection finale show was because I don't think Leanne and Nick really knew each other well before that series started. But then they've found themselves at the finish line together. Leanne's about to do a like mainstream interview with the coverage, and she's asking Nick, is my face okay? Do I have any gel on my cheeks and all those kind of things? I'm like, you guys didn't know each other 8 weeks ago, and now she's like his assistant at the or the other way around, he's her assistant at the finish line to make sure she looks good for the cameras.
Yeah, it's weird how you can sort of bond with someone if you're an hour and a half every once a week where you look at each other through a camera, but all of a sudden you start to become friends and enough to trust someone to wipe spit from your mouth before you go on camera.
Yeah, so good, so good. But we'll get an update from Croaks first, because I feel like his maybe same copy and paste from the last previous week's Croaks. Has anything progressed?
A little bit. So went to the gym Tuesday and Friday. So that was really the only, I guess, exercise that I did, other than went out to the track Friday night, because that Stromlo 5K race that I was plugging a couple of weeks ago, the day after I plugged it, it got cancelled due to lack of numbers. And Lily was really disappointed because she'd sort of been training a little bit for the kids race. And I didn't have the heart to tell her initially that it had been cancelled. And even like the day before the race, she's like, oh, I'm racing out at Stromlo tomorrow night. And I was like, actually, you're not. But I had another athlete who was meant to do the Stromlo 5K. And so he ended up going to the track that afternoon and did a 5K time trial being paced by another one of my athletes. So I took Lily out there and ran a kilometre with her. So ran like a 5:30 kilometre. It felt completely fine doing that. And then we had hockey on Saturday morning, and because it was the last week, they did like kids versus parents. And so I was just running around, and it wasn't painful, but my calf always felt like it was going to basically go into cramp or spasm. And I'm just like, there's just too much awareness, and it's almost been a month. So I spoke to my mate Ben Liddy in Sydney, because I saw him when I was up there, and he had a look at it, and he thought maybe there was a slight strain. But then the fact that I had like tenderness right up against the shin on the bone, that sort of concerned him a little bit. And the fact that my calf was sort of going close to spasm, he's like, well, if you do have bone stress, then that calf could just be overworking to sort of protect it a little bit. And he said, look, if I was, if you came into the clinic, I would say just go and get a scan just to rule out the bony stuff, especially given it's been a month, and the fact that the tear or strain probably wasn't that serious, because I've been able to do calf raises pretty much from when it happened. It should have healed in 4 weeks. So so that was Saturday I spoke to him. So I actually called up this morning to get an MRI, thinking it'd be 2 weeks, and I'm in tomorrow.
Yeah, how good's that?
There you go.
Yeah. So
Moose loves scans. Moose loves instant scans. That's his thing.
Like, the good thing about it is I've been really tentative in terms of coming back, because I don't want to. I've been really diligent for the last month. I've done basically nothing, and what I don't want to do is start running. And if it is a bit bony and it's not quite ready, I basically go back to square one, and I have to take another 4 to 6 weeks off. Whereas I'm going to have an answer in the next 2 days, and if there's no bone and they can't really see anything from a muscle point of view, I can actually then just take a few more risks and start running on it.
Okay. Yeah. So you can start pushing, like, which may make it worse, but it's then going to make it better. Whereas if it's bony, you're just going to make it worse.
Yeah. So I'll have some answers, which will be good. So other than that, I did buy today as well, bought a bike, a home trainer. So that'll be here, I guess, in the next week or two. So
A what? Is it a what bike?
Well, was it a Wahoo Kicker?
Oh, shit.
Shift bike. So it's basically like a smart bike that hooks up automatically to like Zwift or whatever.
We've lost him here, Moose. This is Josh Harris territory.
This is like a big purchase for this bloke. He would have hated parting with that cash.
No, well,
like talking $5,000 last week, wasn't he? What he'd spend on Valencia, he spent on this.
Yeah, well, not quite 5, but yeah, it's a fair bit.
Do you get a discount? Do we have to do any like promo codes?
No,
Brad10 at wahoo.com.
No. But it's probably because I've done really no exercise at all in the last month, mainly because I couldn't be bothered driving 20 minutes to the gym to sit on the bike for an hour. Whereas if it's in my garage, I would have done something. But it's also probably a bit of a look ahead to the future where I am getting older. I'm probably not going to be able to run as much as I would like to. But if I have the ability to jump on a trainer a bike in the in my garage, I'm more likely to do that. And look at Toby. Like Toby's shown that cross training can get you a long way. Jess has been on our show multiple times talking about how she ran good marathons off a lot of cross training. So it's probably just something that'll be useful in the years to come for me.
It's a smart thing. Whether you do it or not, that'll be yet to be seen, because I can imagine what it's going to be like when the calf comes good in 2 weeks. All of a sudden, he's flying around mulligans. He's telling jokes to Cam Myers on a Sunday morning, and that exercise bike becomes like a washing line.
I'll definitely need to sign up to something like Zwift or those similar apps that do keep me occupied while I'm on the bike, where it's a bit more of a game or a bit of a competition.
It's like a video game for athletes. So you put on the headset like all those nerds do and play Call of Duty or whatever it is.
Those Zwift races?
Was that, sorry?
Like, talk to people while you do those.
I don't know. This is Josh Harris. This is Josh Harris territory.
Imagine the shit you could throw at someone. Like, you'd have to be good at the banter. Putting someone to the sword and just giving them an earful.
I know. But my old coach Ben Wisby, he's been on Zwift. He's been doing it for quite a few years now, so he'll be happy. That
I'll be muting you on Strava, that's for sure, because there's nothing worse than those things popping up.
Oh, look, I still plan on running more than I do ride, but it's just just a good tool to have where I can probably get a few more hours of training in without the risk of injury.
There's just no end in sight for this bloke, Moose. Like, you got to take your hat off for his resilience. He could have. I know he did retire about 4.5 years ago when he did the big announcement, but then he's just not. He's just like, all right, I'm getting older. I need a bike. That's the next step. The door's not closing. I love it, Croaks. I know people give you shit about it, but I think it's good.
Like, I love exercising. I still love the process of trying to get as fit as I can. And actually, Moose, what you said during that Road to Sydney finale, where when everybody asks you what your plans are, it's like, well, one thing I don't want to do is race when I'm not ready. And so although I haven't, I do want to race, but only when I'm somewhat fit. So I enjoy training though. That's the thing. I do enjoy running, exercising.
I think what we need, who's our man to do this? Saka or someone who likes the stats needs to go back, put together a list of the races that we've all done over like the last 5 years, I reckon.
Oh, since we started the show, even how many races we've each done?
I reckon Croaks would be below 5. Not since we started the pod, but since COVID.
20.
It'd be under 10 since we've started the pod, I reckon.
Nah, 10?
Yeah.
Nah, way more than 10.
Well, how many marathons? 2? Melbourne,
so I had
Biwa.
I had Gold Coast.
That was a Payton job that you finished off.
What? I still ran 2:23.
No, we're going hard. We're going hard races.
Hard race only.
Not
Sydney 10, Christchurch, we're up to 4.
Yep. Beat Brady at Lakeside.
Albert Park 5. I don't know if you're finding another 5 though, Croaks.
I did that Bankstown where I ran 14:43.
Okay. 6. The one in Albury 7.
What else has he done? You didn't do Melbourne half where you got injured? Or you did it, didn't you?
Did you finish it?
I did. I finished it. Yeah, 69 minutes.
I'm just saying the over under 10 is very accurate.
You did that park run? You did that park run where you fucking blasted the person at the start line?
Oh yeah, I've done some park runs. What else? Oh, I did Wollongong last year.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We might hit 10.
Got to 10.
We might hit 10.
Yeah. I'll go back and have a look for you.
Yeah, well, yours is going to be much easier to count than Moose or ours, I reckon.
Well, I hope you don't count the last 2 weeks, Brady, then.
Of racing? No. Yeah, I've got to bring that up a bit later on the show, Croaks. I've come prepared. I've snipped up a bit of audio. I've got it preloaded here. I'll get to that a bit later on. Come prepared because I was coughing some shit, but we'll get to that.
Wait, you can't come prepared like that and not give me a heads up to come prepared back. Because I could go through my Instagram because I have about 15 DMs.
Oh, so do I. I have a lot of DMs. I have 50 DMs, I reckon. So
I have 60 DMs.
People are sending me timestamps going, put this one in. I've got something. Put this in, Brady. Put this in.
Everyone has been very happy to pile on you.
Haven't heard it. Haven't
No,
heard
they're
it.
in my DMs. They're
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, just great for calling that shit out. We don't want to see that anymore."
Well, that's what I want to get to. I'll get to it at the end of my week. But you tell me how you're going. How have you pulled up off your 2:35 marathon?
Yeah, I was sore.
You can imagine.
Very sore. Quads were fairly beat. Calves, real sore in the calf. They were the two main areas for me. The quads came good on a normal schedule, so I probably could have run based on quad soreness by Friday. The calves were still really tight, not up top, like very low Celia stuff. So I decided not to run. Saturday, woke up, decided to go for a surf, actually. I actually got on the bike a few times this week, mountain bike, which is not my passion, but it keeps the heart rate up and I get to see a bit of the town. It is like you live in this awesome spot next to National Park. It's a really good way to get out and see it, but you just don't have the same passion you do for running. So after an hour, I kind of start getting a bit bored, just want to go home. Whereas the cyclists around here go out for like 4 or 5 hours. Like they just, like Toby rides 3 hours at least a day. I don't know how he does that. He has a passion for it. That's how he does it. But yeah, I don't have that. So yeah, on Saturday, I decided to go for a surf, and while I was out there, like got a few waves, and on my forehand, which is where my body faces the wave, you sort of have to lean in, and at the ankle, you really dorsiflex, and your toes have to play a big part in stabilizing yourself and shifting weight. And my calf just got really sore every time that I would go right on the wave, which is forehand, and I'm like, oh, this isn't good. And then on the last wave before I came in, well, I came in because of that, I got this really sort of teary feel right at the medial side behind my ankle, kind of Achilles, but it felt more ciliacy than that. And then I struggled to get back to the car because I had to walk through all this soft sand. And, you need to push off in that soft sand. That's hard work. So it's probably the worst surface to walk home on. And then talking to the guys, Nita and Tom and Ali, and they just, all the symptoms that I've got seem to line up with this thing called flexor hallux longus, which is the tendon that sort of controls the big toe movement. And it wraps around the inside of your ankle and finishes up on the outside of the ankle. And during the marathon, about 15K in, I remember having a pretty sharp pain there, and it didn't really go away. And as the DOMS subsided, it still sort of remained with me. And I think that's my injury. So I can't run on it. I'd probably give it a week, maybe 2 before I run, and then just bike, gym. Won't go surfing again. Might just paddle the paddleboard I have. So yeah, that's me.
Okay, so what? Yeah, so when the DOMs started to disappear, you're like, "Oh, hang on, this isn't just DOMs. There's something more here."
Exactly. It's like you're watching
marathoners get that on their Thursday, Friday. You know, when you maybe get that like 20-minute test run too, 5 or 6 days after, it's like, what's DOMsy and what's you've done an injury.
Yeah. Well, you don't know that. That's a weird thing. You don't get injuries, so it's hard to have conversations about this stuff with you.
I get little niggles, and they just don't seem to progress.
Yeah, I've thought about this, talking about injuries with you and how you never get them, and so you don't understand them. And it's hard. I reckon it would be hard for you to empathize with someone like Croaks, who's just like perennially injured, and me, who runs 3 weeks, gets an injury for 2. It's real head fuck. I tell you that.
I can imagine. That's why I asked Croaks a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, how are you going mentally? Because it's running is my North Star. So if it was taken away, I actually worry about what kind of person I would be around. Because since I've been, 2003, I pretty much ran every single day since 2003.
Well, you're lucky as well that you're still in that, like, age is not necessarily a factor, but I guarantee you
I'm getting old, Croaks. I think I'm 38 soon.
Yeah, but you're not. Like 38. Like
training age. I've put a lot of Ks through my body. I put more than both you two, I reckon.
37, 38 was when I had my 2 best years of running in terms of mileage and didn't have any niggles at all. But I reckon once you start to get, early to mid 40s, it's more niggles are definitely going to show up. The one thing the reason why I can always sort of, I guess, cope with it now is there's been so many times when I've come back from an injury that when you go back and look at your training and how things progress, like you've done it before, so it gives you confidence that you can do it again. Whereas that's the thing, that you won't have that history of doing it, so it'll be hard for you initially.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Even to the fact that I'm like, I would probably take myself off the show because I'd just be like, don't want to know it, delete Strava I'd have to like almost remove myself. I think,
that would be.
Hats off to you guys for showing up every week.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't mind talking about it.
Yeah, I think it's good to talk about because your stories probably relate to more of our listeners than my experience with running, where it's I've got like a bit of a niggly hip, and I've had this groin thing since that stack at the drink stations at Ballarat, which has like it's gone, but it's still a bit of awareness occasionally. Like I don't want to make it sound like I'm totally invincible and I jump out of bed every morning. NordVPN has partnered with the Inside Running podcast to offer you an amazing discount. Head over to nordvpn.com/inside running to get a huge discount off your NordVPN plan, plus 4 additional months on top of that. Think of NordVPN as your personal bodyguard for your online activity. It encrypts your internet traffic, shielding your personal information from those prying eyes and online criminals with state-of-the-art encryption. It can help you book flights and hotels for your next race, as well as when you're over there, you can connect to a NordVPN server in your home country and safely enjoy the content as if you never left. Wherever you travel, it's perfect if you want to follow local Aussie sport. With NordVPN, you can access all your streaming services from back home. Don't forget, there is literally no risk with your 30-day money-back guarantee. Give it a try, and if you like it, great. If you don't, they'll issue a full refund, and you can pretend the entire situation never even happened. Check out our link, nordvpn.com/inside running, to get your subscription started today. You can also find the information in the episode description and the link in our social media bio. Because, especially this week, do you want me to recap this week?
Do it.
Yep.
I woke up hungover Monday morning in Sydney. Zach was on like a 6 a.m. flight. I think I was on like a 7 a.m. flight, so he was already gone.
How late did you stay out?
Well, Jeff Risley took us to some, it wasn't a Nike event. It was just some Nike people drinking. And then they must have been paying for I'd swear I didn't pay for any drinks or any food.
I reckon I bought you a few down at the...
Yeah, we're going to get those reimbursed. I was telling you, Coach is going to... Yeah, we've really got to get access to the Inside Running
I know.
podcast,
He fucking holds it, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he holds it tight.
You all had it. You both have access to a card.
Nah, mine's expired, I think.
Go and get another one.
Anyway, it wasn't that late, but I'd been up since 4 a.m. And we'd had a pretty few couple of later nights leading into that as well, doing a few different things. So when I got back to Moama, I did 45 minutes at 4:42 pace. I'm just tired from the travel as well. It just takes, it's probably a 5-hour trip from when you leave the hotel to getting home to Echuca. Tuesday I did 70 minutes in the morning, 4:38s, and then 45 minutes in strides in the afternoon. And then Wednesday I had 15 by 1K, first 10 off 1 minute recovery, and they were at threshold effort, keeping the heart rate under 170. And the last 5 were kind of like to push towards 10K effort, but they had 90 seconds recovery. So the first 10 were probably closer to, 310, 312 kind of average. And then the last 5 were around 3 minute average. So it come out at like 307 average, which was a big workout off the back of Sydney. And when I initially saw it in my program Monday, I was like, I don't think I'm going to be ready for that. But my legs definitely did improve between Monday and Wednesday. But I definitely did this workout with fatigue, like more fatigue than usual in the legs. Like it was at 2 out of 10 DOMs, and I was putting fatigue on top of those DOMs.
How do you feel about that? Like, because you've got like a background now in running and in coaching, I doubt you would prescribe that to any of your athletes. If they've run like a marathon at 85%, like you're probably not doing much the next week, are you?
Nah, but the athletes I coach have different running history to me. And I actually think, I don't want to speak for Dan, and I'll flick you his number if you want to ask him directly, Croaks, because I'm just doing what's in my program. But I think my limiting factor is the marathon, that I'm quite weak in the legs. Like I don't think it's so much aerobically. So actually doing stuff on tired legs might be where I get some of the gains here, not being as conservative as I probably have been in the past, and getting another 219, another 220. And Toby replied to me when I was talking to him about it. He's like, nah, I'd prefer you get injured or go to Valencia super fit and get a breakthrough. You
sort of
can't just
similar.
keep doing stuff and getting there. And I have full faith in Dan. I'm like, well, that's what's there. If I didn't feel good though, say those DOMs were still 5 out of 10, I wouldn't have done it. I knew when, and it was actually a pretty decent workout. I hit the splits fine, felt great. It was probably more mentally than I'm like, geez, I had a big thing Sunday and now it's only Wednesday.
I definitely think there is value in running on tired legs. And that's why, when I was running my best, my Wednesdays off the back of a Tuesday session would always be not like a session, but a pretty solid Wednesday midweek run over hills, which is that whole running on tired legs thing.
Yep. And then 45 minutes in the afternoon, Wednesday. Thursday, it was 70 minutes at 4:44s. And this, I felt tired again. It felt like I'd done a hard workout on tired legs. And I was like, oh, I've got my DOMs are back here that I kind of was feeling on the Monday. 45 minutes in the Arvo as well after school. Friday, I was pretty tired Friday morning. Stayed up and watched the footy Thursday night. Thursday night footy is terrible for people who have to get up early Friday morning. That's a hard sell. 70 minutes though at 4:33s. Saturday was just one run, 45 minutes and 5 by 15 second strides and some plyometrics. Then took the family down to Melbourne because it was round 9 of the XCR season, which is the Burnley Half Marathon. Initially, I thought we didn't have enough people entered. You need 5 people to enter, and I swear we only had 4 people at one stage on the sign-up sheet. But they must update that as they go, and I must have checked it when it was still open. But we did get 5 people signed up, which means we were going to get a team score. Dan was very much do it at marathon effort. Terrible course, 9 U-turns. I hate this course. I just wish they'd shut the road further in both directions and give us. So you do a half marathon on 5K worth of road, which if you sign up to run a half marathon, let them run on 21K worth of road, or at least 10K and do it twice. You're lapping people you actually can't, on the U-turns, you can't even see who the winners were because they're mixed up with all the people they're lapping and stuff. I feel for people winning and the crowd actually doesn't know you're winning a race because you're caught up lapping people. So
is the course now legitimately measured? So is it I'm not sure. How they did Ballarat, they got Albert Park, they AIM certified. I don't think they have Burnley down. I don't think so.
We stayed at that, when you go up the hill and you do the U-turn at that end. We stayed at a hotel another K and a half past there, and that road was fully closed all past that school until I think that's Bridge Road there. So there was no traffic allowed. They could have went an extra K and a half. I'm not sure why they don't. But
well,
anyway.
I think they used to, didn't they? We definitely used to run further back in the day.
Did we? Yeah. Okay.
I reckon the course used to go longer down under the bridge and I feel like it went further.
Okay. Yeah. I've done it that many times and I'm I don't think I've stood on a start line less physically and mentally not wanting to be there. DOMs in my leg, mentally tired. Nothing was motivating me other than all I have to do is get to the finish line. So the Bendigo Bats have 5 finishes. So yeah, we had a terrible night's sleep with the kids in the hotel room. It was not much fun. And then I just got in a good pack. We had a nice little pack rolling. We talked for about the first 6.5, 7K. And then we had to start concentrating a bit. I ran 69.52, which good conversation for you boys. When you see marathon effort, should have I got to the end of that and being well, that's, if I was running a marathon on that day, that's my halfway split? Or should that feel what 10 to 30K should feel like in the marathon? You probably don't want it to feel like what the last 10K of a marathon is going to feel like. But marathon effort, you experience 4 or 5 different levels of effort in a marathon.
Well, we had this exact conversation on Road to Sydney.
You did, yeah.
I think it was, I don't know, a couple of episodes ago. You need to get specific instruction on what part of the marathon it's supposed to feel like. 0 to 21 should be fairly easy. 21 to 40 will start out, okay, this is hard from the start of your race, or not hard, but steady. And then it will get very, very hard towards the end. No one really wants to, I don't think you should be training too far in that area for a tempo.
I would probably treat this as run the half marathon at sort of marathon goal, sort of marathon pace, because that's going to feel harder than the first 21K of the marathon, because it doesn't mean anything to you, but you're also doing it as part of a training week. Obviously, when you're racing a marathon, the first 21 to 30K feels really easy because you've tapered. Whereas if you're doing it at the end of you basically ran a marathon the week before, did 15 by a K during the week. If you then go and run it at sort of goal marathon pace.
Oh, it would have been and it was terrible weather. It was like 17 degrees and like 30k an hour winds. Like if I went out there and say I want to run 2:17 or 2:18 at Valencia and tried to split 68:30, I would have had to work so hard.
Yeah, and then that probably puts you in terms of the feel, more like that 30 to 32k, like where it starts to get a little bit difficult, I'd say.
Yeah. So you've run 69, what?
52. I had to actually put in a bit of effort at the end there. I'm like, I at least need to come under like 70 minutes here.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was 30k an hour wins.
Yeah. I would say that's probably like 2 minutes or 90 seconds with that wind. It was crazy weather.
Oh, and the fatigue I was carrying into it and how like mentally disengaged I was. I think that was probably even a bit hard.
So you take 90 seconds off that, Moose, and that is pretty much like goal marathon pace.
Yeah. So so that's like 2:16.
2:16, 2:17. Yeah.
2:15, 2:16.
We aren't going that quick. I think I'm a bit sick too. I had a shocking fever last night. I was in the spare bed.
I think newer runners, I think experienced runners kind of know where threshold is, like the feeling of threshold and backing off that, and that's marathon effort. And inexperienced runners need to be given paces.
Even like a couple of boys I was running with started getting going in the last 2K, and I was like, nah. Like I think my 20th K was the slowest K of the day. I was just like, I'm not engaging in that today.
How am I going to hi-fi everyone running as hard as that?
Well, this is my question, because only one good thing came out of this race, and that was seeing my son and daughter on the course, which they don't get to see me race very often. And a couple of people did say to me, like, are you allowed to run over and like high-five your own children on the course? And I said, I can do what I want. They're my own kids. This is very rare for me. It's Father's Day.
What does it mean? What do they mean allowed?
Because you had these rules last week in Road to Sydney about like what is race day etiquette. And there was something about like, Croaks, if you listen, you talked about like stirring up the crowd. Like, what does that even mean?
No, when you're not racing it though, when you're doing it as a training run.
So
you're like warming the pies up as you're running along.
This is what I've got to do a stinger too. You know this one?
I don't know what that means. No one knows what it means, but it's provocative. No, it's not. It gets the people going.
So I've got a list here, Mitch. You just say yes or no if I'm allowed. if these are things that you're allowed to do whilst you're in a marathon. So we'll start off with high-five your own kids. Yes or no? See them on the side of the course.
Yes.
Okay. You're allowed to high-five other people's kids if they've got their hands out.
These aren't yes or no questions.
Yes, they are. You just go yes or no.
No, well, I don't want to play this game, but I'll say, yes.
Okay. What about, are you allowed to like high-five random adults if they got their hands out? Like you don't want to leave a kid hanging, but you can leave an adult.
We're not doing that.
Okay. What about, this was an instance, because I just really want to know, like, is this stirring up the crowd? Because this was some of my behaviour last week, which I think got confused. You think I was doing certain things that I actually wasn't doing. But someone last week had a, the Para Mario.
No.
Tap here for energy.
You didn't touch it, did you?
Well, no one was touching it. I thought I'll give it a tap as I run past.
Of course you did.
I tap that. If people say like, good work, Brady, keep going, you're allowed to give them a smile.
Yeah, you can give him a smile.
Yeah. You're allowed to give him a thank you. Thank you. Bit of a wave. Thank you.
Oh, carry on.
Finger up.
Talking back to a well done. They're not wanting that. They are not wanting an interaction with you. That is one-sided interaction only. That is clap. Hey, good job. And then when you turn and look at them, they're like, please don't fucking talk to me. I am here to clap you on your way.
When they use your name or they bring up something about relaxing your jaw or they say get that green tick, Brady. A penguin is not a fish, Brady. Like if they're going to effort to do that, a couple of people had signs with my name on a moose. I assume I was the Brady they were talking about, but I think it's worth saying thanks. Good on ya. Thank you for the support out here.
They don't expect that. They don't want that. They would prefer you to just maybe a slight acknowledgement, but you get out of there quickly. They're not there for a chat.
Maybe I've over-delivered.
There's a difference between an acknowledgement.
This isn't stirring up the crowd. Stirring up the crowd is doing the arms.
Arm up above the shoulder, which I saw a photo, Brady.
No, it was me. It was me pointing to someone who yelled out, keep going, Brady.
That's more than a smile and a bit of a nod of an acknowledgement. That is, hey, how...
Okay.
No, that's a
I got to quit, Brady.
Finger.
I got a question for you then.
Just let me finish that. There's a difference. I was not stirring up the crowd. The crowd did not need stirring up. They were at 10 out of 10. I was acknowledging the people that went to the effort to give me some give me some encouragement on the course, which that's what they call me, the man of the people on this show. There's got to be someone who's positive and not grumpy on this show. That's what Zaka tells me every week. And that's all I was doing on the streets of Sydney last weekend.
You list done?
Yeah. So no stirring, just
So
ignore.
you're running along next to a bloke who is absolutely trying his heart out.
Didn't happen. No one. I didn't run with anyone.
Bullshit.
22K in, I didn't run with anyone.
Let's say that split second that you went past Moose, they called out your name. And you're doing these ones, and Moose is like going, oh, shit, how am I going to cover the next 5K?
These spectators are cheering people on who are in like the dark depths of hurt pain cave. They are expecting to be helping people, and then you're running along, cruising along, having the best day of your life, and they're out there they're supporting you. I would feel cheated if I cheered on someone who was out there doing a training run. I would feel like I'm wasting my time.
Put in your effort to cheer this bloke along, and he's smiling back.
And he's smiling, and I think, oh, fuck that, I'm not cheering him. He doesn't need that.
I see the point then. You've wasted a cheer on me. But these aren't, I'm not talking about the punters who just go there to cheer everyone. These people have made personalised cheers for me. And if you're going to do that, I'm going to say cheers, good on you. And to your point, I did not, one gentleman come up next to me at about 18K and he said, are you going to run 2:35 pace today? And I said, do not gauge your race off me. I'm going to go faster when I feel good, slower when I feel bad. I'm like, I could ruin your day, so get away from me. And I made sure from 22K, I was never in a group. I was doing my own thing out there. I didn't want to impact other people's races.
And just be clear, Brady, Moose and I aren't against acknowledging people that
shit
cheer, but there's different types of acknowledgement.
There's different, stirring up the crowd, which I got labelled as stirring up the crowd.
You were stirring up the crowd.
Than acknowledgement.
You were absolutely.
I wasn't stirring. How do you know? You're 5 minutes behind me.
I saw when you went past. It was not enjoyable for anyone around you. The crowd didn't enjoy it after you smiled at them and went over to shake their hand and jump the fence, give their kid a cuddle. Anyway.
How many Ks for the week, Brady?
145. Bit of a downward. I got 3 real easy days this week because I feel like I'm a bit sick and physically and maybe a bit mentally I'm in a bit of a hole that I need to just crawl out of with a couple of easy days. We've got 12 weeks till Valencia though.
Has Shoe Geeks come out yet?
I went to Patreon. It hasn't come out public yet, yeah.
Croaks, you listen to that?
I haven't yet, no.
Well, the guest interview on there is Brady's coach, actually, Dan Nash. So, very interesting.
Interesting choice that you went with Dan Nash for a Shoe Geeks episode.
Yeah, I thought so too. I actually said to Nita, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? This bloke doesn't know about shoes. And he said, oh, no, he's science. He's science. It
was a good chat.
Yeah, no, it was good. He held himself well. And he does test a lot of shoes. He has he brings athletes in to test shoes, like to get economy testing done on their shoes. So he was good. He was real good. And he's just got that like nerdy shoe chat going on. So he pulled it off, no doubt. But I did question him on that 1K session you did early on before the recording started. I said, mate, you're going to cook our bloke. You got him doing fucking 15 by K 2 days after the marathon. And he just you could see his face sort of glazed over, and then he started looking at his keyboard. He starts typing, and he's like checking the program that he's given you, and he looks back and he's like, no, it was 3 days. Ooh. He's nervous. He is nervous about your result. There won't be a more nervous bloke watching that tracker when you run Valencia than him.
He's racing Valencia.
Oh, well, he's
he won't
racing.
be on the tracker.
He'll be scared, though.
Remember you did that one time too when you were coaching me. I was running heaps of PBs too. You were doing a good job, but it was like this 40. It was meant to be a 40-minute workout, but instead of like ×2 for 20 minutes, you had like ×4, and I did like an hour and 20 fartlek, average like 3:18 pace, and you're like, you weren't meant to do it that many times. Like,
yeah.
Shows I'm a good trainer. I'm good at
Doesn't
training.
ask questions.
It's an interesting spot where you're at though, Brady, because you look at the last few weeks and like mentally it's been, quite taxing because, high volume, you've run a marathon, you've then done another workout where when you're almost about to start the traditional marathon block where you would normally be wanting to be really mentally and physically quite fresh. So you almost feels like you do need to have a bit of a reset for the next fortnight to mentally freshen up before you then go into the really hard work. Is that how you feel?
I feel like I don't want to leave my house for the next 12 weeks other than to go to Melbourne Marathon Festival. Like, I feel like that. I just need way better sleep, get on top of this cold. Let my legs kind of bounce back a bit. I got treatment like with my masseuse tomorrow night. I feel a bit like that.
Just pro athlete life now for you.
The treatment's at 6 p.m, but yeah.
No, I mean like not wanting to leave your house. That includes going to work.
Oh, no, I mean leave a Chukamoama surrounding. I don't want any weekends away or getting on aeroplanes and stuff like that.
No shakeout runs.
No shakeout runs. Let's go with our Patreon supporters, Croaks, and thank them, eh?
All right. I've got Christian Ronning from Oslo, and according to Strava, his 10K and half marathon PBs came during this year's Jessheim half marathon, where he ran 75:31. And he has a marathon PB of 3:03 from last year's Nordmarker Skogs Marathon, which has over 700 meters of elevation. And I think Skogs means forest. So it was like a forest marathon. And pretty sure he's a tax lawyer and he's head of tax Norway at Handelsbanken.
Oh.
Smart guy.
I've got a couple of individuals he could look into, I reckon, if he's looking into people's tax forms over there.
Just on that, Chriso.
Oh, the man from Oslo.
OG Monthly tomorrow night we're recording, I think.
Chriso,
that's his event. He would have been so like busy working that event.
He said he doesn't do anything. He said he's there to race. He says he does it all in the weeks, months beforehand.
That's 6,000 entrants.
Just for those listening, he ran, was it 72 minutes for the half?
Nah, he's got to be
slower than that. It was slower than that.
Goldfish.
72 something,
72
wasn't
something.
Oh, 72 something.
He's carrying so much fatigue, that bloke. He's just got to get to the taper now.
The taper? He's
mind.
doing Berlin. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you thought he was doing Valencia.
Yeah.
He had another 12 weeks to this. He might do Valencia if Berlin doesn't go to plan. He's done that before. We'll talk to him tomorrow, though.
That'll be a good episode.
Can't wait to talk to him, get a couple of one-liners out of him.
Yeah, but with Croker, the better the shape, the sharper the brain.
The brain is not sharp now.
Shape is shit, brain is shit.
No, he keeps the brain sharp when the shape isn't good, I reckon.
I have another an Oslonian. Someone look that up. What do you call someone from Oslo?
Just go with it.
Nah, I want to know the answer to that. By the end of me reading this out.
I'll look it up. So
this is Torgrim Svensson. They do have cool names though, don't they? Very cool. That's Torgrim Svensson. Has PBs of 16:55 for 5K, 35:14 for a 10K track race at Bislett, 78 minutes at the 2022 Drummond half. I think that's when Drummond was good back then. Heard the event's sort of gone downhill since 2022. And 2:51 at last year's Berlin. Nothing on Strava since the end of June. So we hope he's okay, but it does sound like there is a longer-term injury at play for Torgrim.
Yeah, hopefully not.
That's not good at all.
Got an answer for me, Brady?
Yeah, I'm going to paste it in here because I don't want to get it wrong.
Oh, you are a pussy.
No, I'm also looking at who I've got to thank. And I'm looking at the recording. You don't understand what I do at this. Actually, you did a bit of it for Road to Sydney. You do.
Let me look.
Have a go with that. Just dropped it in.
An Oslovian. Didn't I say that? Oslovian.
Yeah, you might have.
I reckon that's an Osloit. I don't mind Osloit.
Thank you to our Norwegian supporters. I'm going to thank Matt Thompson from Canberra, Croaks. You know him?
No, I don't know Matt.
according to Strava, he has a PBs of 18:45 for the 5K at the Tuggeranong Park Run.
Is that the one where you knocked that kid over, Croaks?
Tuggeranong. No, that's Southside Tuggeranong. My mum's at Gungahlin.
The one you're banned from?
There's got a photo on the parkrun startboard of Croaks saying, "Don't let this bloke in."
41:19 for 10K. 89 minutes at the 2021 Canberra Half Marathon and 3:18 at this year's Canberra Marathon. We think he might be a run to PB athlete. Okay.
Love the care you got for your athletes when you got no fucking idea who's on your roster or who's not.
Do you think I coach every single person on our roster?
Mate, you send their invoices out. You take their money. You should know.
I only send some invoices out, not every single person's invoice.
Okay. How many you got on the books there?
We're a bit bigger than Run Strong Moves. I don't have one-to-one contact with every single athlete, but on massive thanks to Matt Thompson for his support of the
Run to BB
podcast and our Patreon supporters over there. Good time to be a Patreon supporter. We've got the daily shows starting up. Is it next week, Croaks, the World Champs?
Starts on Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yeah.
Jeez, we might have to get organised for that then.
Hey, you know I'm there?
Together. Yeah, when do you leave, Moose?
On Saturday.
You leave on Saturday?
Yeah.
So you're going to miss...
I'll miss your show, yeah.
You're going to miss the first day of competition as well, are you?
Oh, well, yeah. I'm not... So I'm there for day 2 morning session, which is the marathon, women's marathon, men's 1,500 heats. And then I'm there for the evening too on day 2, which is the 1,500 women's...
Semis?
Oh, yeah, straight semis.
No, they have the heats on the Saturday.
Oh, I missed the Saturday. Yeah,
and
my
then
bad.
and then they have semis, and that'll be the men's 10K that night.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Correct. Then the next day I'm going in the morning, marathon men and 3K steeplechase women, the heats, and then have the night off. Day 4, men's 800 heats, women's 1,500 final. How good in the evening. And then day 5 I'm going in the evening. Women's 3K steeple final and men's 15 final. Oh, there's some choice races in there.
What is your actual role? So you're going as a guest of Asics?
No role. Yeah, I'm just
junket.
No, I'm a guest, corporate
guest. You don't
guest.
have to you just have to make sure you keep ordering a lot of Asics shoes in future.
Keep the orders up, yeah.
No miniature shoe workshops or anything.
I think there's a few SB runs, they call them. That's like the Asics kind of shakeout run that we went to where Reedy, that guy, Croaks' mate actually, the guy who ran with the surfboard, Croaks, he got the world record.
Oh, that him, was it?
That was a good effort from him running with a surfboard all that way. And so he took us for that run. He made like the stretches. So yes, no, I think that my calf will still be bad for those. But
yeah, if it's not, it's still bad.
It's pretty full on over there.
He's
pretty
not
full on
still
schedule.
With Asics, is he?
No, they got rid of him with that domestic assault stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Someone else picked him up though, like a nutrition company, which I thought was pretty crazy. But there you go.
We are going to get to the World Champs, but first we need to say a massive thanks to Axel Coffee Roasters for bringing us this week's race results. Check them out at axelcoffee.com.au. You got into the Father's Day blend yet, boys?
That's been and gone, mate. Been and gone.
Has it?
Yeah.
Coffee's going quick at your place.
Well,
Croaks? Yeah, I started mine.
Okay, good. You enjoying it?
Very enjoyable, yes.
World Champs team. We'll just give you the reins here, Croaks, and you just want to read out names, and then we might talk about the controversy. And at the bottom, I've also put the selection criteria, the dot points there, if you want to scroll down and have that for reference as well. Go for it, Croaks.
Well, I'll start by listing the men's team for all events, and then we can discuss it. So in the men's 800, Peter Bowl, Payton Craig, and Luke Boys. Men's 1,500, Cam Myers, Jude Thomas, and Adam Spencer. In the 5K, we've got Kai Robinson, Jack Rayner, and Seth O'Donnell. The steeplechase is Ed Trippus, and the marathon was Andy Buchanan, Tim Vincent, and Liam Buden. But Andy, I believe, is now a scratching. Is that correct, Brady?
Yeah, he went public today on his Instagram and said he will not be going.
Yeah. So
which I was surprised that he was jogging. I don't know a lot about injuries, which we've already discussed tonight, but when I saw that he was doing like test jogs, like on a stress reaction, that quite shocked me.
It
I
had
always thought bone was at least, like if it was real low grade, like maybe 3 to 4 weeks. But yeah, generally bone stuff's like 6 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, it had a real Jack Rayner feel. Jack Rayner Tokyo Olympics feel. Got the
in Cairns as well.
Yeah, in Cairns, and it was like, do I do it? Do I not? I can't really train. Did a few runs here and there, but then I think he's made the right call here.
Yeah.
Well, he definitely made the right call. It's not even close. Yeah.
I wonder if he tries to get back for Valencia, because if you've still got 2 or 3 weeks and then you return to run program, your marathon block's getting pretty small pretty quick.
So he entered in that already? Do we know that?
I don't know, but Nick Batt-Doyle manages him and he's sent athletes there in the past, so I assume it wouldn't be too hard for a 206 guy to get in there where he ran 206 last year.
The risk here though is chasing and just being in this constant injury cycle. And so like, I think Andy probably needs to look like long-term and go, all right, maybe the rest of this year is out in terms of marathons, but I'm going to make sure that I get myself 100% healthy because I've still got 3, 4, 5, 6 really good years of running ahead of me.
For sure. I would agree. The worst thing you can do is rush these things now.
So in terms of the selection for the men, like the only really controversial event was probably the 1500. We had like multiple people, under the qualifying time, and it really came. So the one that missed out was obviously Commonwealth Games champion Ollie Hoare. All the other events were pretty straightforward. They'd either run the time or were within the quota.
So good to see Seth on that 5K team.
Yeah.
So the discussion, I guess, with Ollie Hoare not on that 1500 meter team, and it just feels like the confusion comes because the criteria is just so open.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I suppose you look at the Olympics last year, and Cam Myers was probably the Jude Thomas of this year. It's like up and comer. Do we blood the young kid, give him a chance of like an Olympics so that he's better than at the, next major? But they're like, no, we're going to go with the experienced runners. And so Cam misses out. This year, Ollie would be that experienced runner and Jude's the up and comer, but they've gone with the up and comer over Ollie. When Ollie up and
just to slow down a bit. How come Adam Spencer is never in this conversation as it's like his spot was also like up for grabs? Like how come everyone's like, is it Jude or Ollie?
I think the fact that he came probably second at the Nationals helps a little bit.
Do you want me to read out the criteria? So you think about those 3 names, likelihood of top 8 finish. I don't think any of those 3 guys are likely of a top 8 finish.
I agree. I agree with you.
So they're all on an even playing field at this stage. Point 2, whether an athlete is qualified via performance standard or ranking. Well, they all got the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Ollie had run faster than Jude in the qualification period.
And Adam, wasn't he the second fastest?
He might have been.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was the second fastest. So now we're going to give it to Ollie. Point 3, demonstrate high-level performance throughout the qualification period. He raced way more than the other 2. And those recent races probably affected him.
100%. But if he'd stopped after Rome, where he ran his 3:31 or whatever, then
which the other 2 kind of did. They didn't race nowhere. It was like he was chasing more performances to make this dot point get better. But when it says high level performances, his time is still a high level performance during the qualification period. Proven ability to peak at a major championships. Commonwealth Games gold medalist. Olympic finalist at Tokyo. Surely he's smacking them up there.
He's won a Diamond League.
Won a Diamond League, yep. Proven ability to meet or exceed qualification level performances during international competitions. Proven ability to meet or exceed qualification level. So I guess that's how you stack up in international races.
Yeah, can you run 3:31 at a champs? Or are you a time trial specialist?
Yeah, okay. So we put them all on a level playing field again? I think they've all got the capabilities to do that.
Well, no, because it says proven ability. Where have we seen Jude Thomas prove himself at major championships. Well, we haven't.
He hasn't been there. Yeah. Point 6, participation in the 2025 Australian Track and Field Championships and the Summer Series as defined in their relevant events. They all come back, definitely for nationals. I'm not sure if Jude did more. Like, did he do the 3K and Ollie didn't? Not sure. I really don't think that stuff in like Feb, March should matter. Or Zatopek last year in December. Too much. But then the last dot point, any additional factors deemed relevant by the selection committee in consultation with the National Federation General Manager of High Performance. So that one just says, and I also like the big argument for Jess to go to the Olympics was her, look what she did at the Commonwealth Games. She's proven over the marathon. She can win championship races. But then that weight doesn't seem to apply for Ollie with his Commonwealth Games.
Commonwealth Games a fair while ago now.
Well, I think true. As well, and you're also looking at, you mentioned Tokyo. I actually think if you look back at Ollie's outside of Commonwealth Games and that Olympics, when that was a different time back in Tokyo, like Ollie was legitimately in the top 5 or 6 in the world
as well.
But you look at some of his other, Oregon World Championships, like bombed out, and that was just before the Com Games. Like he should have done much better at that World Champs. The last Olympics, he didn't perform very well at all.
I'm actually kind of content with the team we've got. I'm just trying to, and Cam kind of said it. He's like, what do the selectors want us to do? Like one time we're going for experience is weighed out more. The other time it's like we're going to blood this new guy. Like
that's the problem. There's no consistency with it.
And it's embarrassing. Like every year we have some kind of controversy, and then people come up with these conspiracies, and they do tend to always fall in the same direction when it's like a line call, and then it's just no one knows. The communication is poor. Yeah.
There aren't a lot of countries that seem to suffer this controversy year in, year out. It's always us, and it's a bit of a laughing sort of, like, it's an ongoing laughing sort of joke, this selection criteria, because every year there's this discretion piece at play, and we've got to get rid of that. We've got to take discretion away.
What biases they have, or how well they know certain athletes. Just like take all that stuff away. It should not matter. Just give us black and white. But
put yourself in the selectors' position here, and they're given that criteria. I don't think the selectors write the criteria. No. And so they're given this criteria they have to pick from, and it's so ambiguous. Like, what is an international competition? So they're all running international competition. So proven ability to meet qualification level performances during international competition. That means that they could go to any race in the world and like run that, and they've met the proven ability. Like, I just don't. It just seems like terrible criteria, as well as having a criteria linked to what's your own financial benefit, which is the summer series. Like, yes, like athletics would be more popular if all the stars from Australia ran in Australia. But don't link your fucking criteria, like your selection criteria, to your own commercial interests.
Well, that became an issue, Moose, with the women's. So the women's 1500, Sarah Billings finished second at Nationals. Jess Hull won. Jess Hull wasn't automatically selected, but Sarah was. The reason being, Sarah ran at some of the domestic races. Now, what that
Jess
did,
won
though,
a silver medal at the Olympics.
Yeah, but she's not selected. But Sarah Billings, who finished second with a best time at that point of 3:59, was automatically selected for World Champs. And we've seen since then, Georgia Griffith, Linden Hall, they've come out and run 3:56 and 3:58. One of those girls misses out because they've already pre-selected Sarah, who probably should have been selected for the 800 because she'd run like a 1:57 this season. So, like, I like the idea of pre-selecting athletes for World Championships because then they don't have to chase throughout the season. But I think you need to be targeting that at the best of the best, like your Jess Hulls, like your Peter Bowles.
Maybe even like the world rankings in May. And you go, if you're in the top 10 in the world rankings in May, then you're pre-selected for the event.
Yeah.
Because that could, I mean, most athletes have started running, like most of the international meets have kicked off. Maybe May's too early. Maybe it's sort of like mid-June. Oh, not mid-June. Maybe it's early June where you go pre-selection done in early June.
Because I personally think that if they hadn't picked Sarah Billings, after nationals, and then it came to selecting the team now, Sarah would probably be in the 800 and Georgia would be in the 1500. So let's get to the women's team, should we? So 800, got Abbey Caldwell, Claudia Hollingsworth, and Jessica Hull. 1500, Sarah Billings, Linden Hall, and Jess Hull. So Georgia Griffith missed out there on a 1500 metre spot, although she ran 3:58 throughout the season. 5,000 metres. They initially selected 4, which was Rose Davies, Linden Hall, Georgia Griffith, and Lauren Ryan. There was an appeal there. And so Lauren didn't get a spot. So it's Rose, Linden, and Georgia in the 5K.
Has that been publicly announced?
Yeah, it has.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has now. Lauren Ryan and Izzi Batt-Doyle in the 10,000 metres. Cara Feain-Ryan and Amy Cashin in the steeple. And the marathon is Vanessa Wilson, Sarah Klein, and Tara Palm.
It's a strong team, like all round.
Very strong. Yeah.
It's going to be good to watch.
Jess Hull doing the double.
Yeah, don't mind it. Which one's first?
1500's first, so it works well.
Yeah.
Be so much fun to watch this. I think how good's that women's the women's 1500 and the 5K.
Yeah. I love the fact that George is going to go into that 5K fresh too.
Yeah.
And she can close races.
If
they're slow championship style stuff, she's making the final.
100%. Well, but she's going to be competitive at the back end if it's slow, because look at a 3K time. So essentially it comes down to more of a 3K race than it does 5K.
Yeah, well, she's also ran, 14:32 this season, which is, you kind of think of her as an 815. She's ran the second fastest time ever for 5K, hasn't she?
Yeah, whereas Rose and Linden, they'll both be coming off. Linden will, if she makes the 1500 metre final, she'll race the 1500 metre final in the night, and then the next morning will be the 5K heats. Whereas Rose, Rose will be fresh too, because she's not doing the 10K. So I actually like that move as well. So many times we have athletes doubling up, and I think, if Rose did the 10K, it would definitely take away from her 5K.
It's going to be good. We've got a competition run as well, boys. Axel Coffee, you need to you need to give me 3 names. So you need to pick your boy and your girl for these championships as who you're really going to put on your team, and then also an emerging athlete that will arrive at these championships on the big stage. Then we're going to put it on social media. We're going to ask the listeners, pick which team you want to get on board for the next couple of days for the championships, and then we're going to reflect on it and see who got the most things correct.
This is tough. Well, you go first, tough. Brady. You've got yours written down already.
I've written mine down. I think Kai Robinson is in for a big championship, 5K only. We've seen him run really well. I remember you talking about him at Maury Plant Moose. He is a professional athlete and he knows how to cover moves. I think not making the 5K final would be really, really disappointing for him. So I'm expecting to see him in the final. I don't want to say expect him for a sneaky medal chance, but a 5th or 6th at the World Champs final would be a huge run, and I'm going to put him on my team as my boy. And I'm going for this next female athlete because I know Croaks definitely won't pick her after the language you used last week, but Jess Hull. She's got 2 races, so it gives me 2 opportunities for her to perform. She's going to have nothing to lose in that 800. I think she's been mucking around, testing a few different strategies out in the 1500s and miles and things like that. And she knows how to get it right on the big stage. The expectation is now that you're in a medal, just not sure what color. And I think she'll deal with that pressure fine. And then my emerging athlete, I think this person can make the semi-finals of the 1500, and it's the prince that was promised, who did run 3:31 last week, Jude Thomas. I think he pays the selectors back with their selection. And, I think he gets out of the heats, which is a very hard thing to do in global 1,500 metre running. So, for me, here's my emerging talent, and that's going to be a green tick if he can do that.
Who you got, Moose?
Yeah, well, tricky questions, these ones.
You can't pick same people. You don't have the exact same team.
Oh, okay, you can pick the same people.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
Yeah. If you have to.
I think you'd be very I think Jess. It's a no-brainer in a way. Jess is going to most likely be the top performing Aussie. Like she's a medal chance. Whereas
No.
you're not going, Jess.
You talked me out of her last week when you ragged on her so much. I bought into that, Croaks. You just knocked her stock so far down that I've gone back and gone, you know who's on the up right now? Is Linden Hall. Linden Hall is hitting her straps. She's coming into this with, you talk about nothing to lose, Brady. Linden Hall, she was written off early this year, and now she's out for maybe her last championships ever. We don't know, maybe, but she's there, and I think she's there to make a difference. So she's my athlete to get going. That's my female. Yeah, the male's a bit tougher. I'm going to say my emerging athlete is Cam Myers. First Open Championship. So he qualifies for emerging. So I'm going to put him in there because that's a lock. He's competed with the very top dogs this year. He's not quite made it. He's not quite knocking them off, but he's close. So it'd be great learning experience for him over there. And people's favorite, I think, after his time on the podcast. Like I was listening to all your shows and very, very well spoken, really mature young man, I thought. And then the male athlete, the best performed athlete. Can I go Cam again? Is that wrong? I think I can. I'm going Cam Myers. So he's my best athlete and he's my emerging athlete. So right. I'm all in on Cam.
Shows how much you rate him. Just on the Linden as well, did you see this social media post today? 10 in a row. So she has made 10 national teams in a row dating back to the 2016 Rio Olympics. Has not missed a team.
That is insane. She's our best ever, right? Geez.
That's a consistent, consistent, surely. In an event that's like, you don't traditionally age well in the event. She's still running PBs.
Yeah. And
9 years ago, she was at the Olympics. And now she's still lining up at the World Champs. Wouldn't be many people doing that.
It's just you're only just one injury away from missing it all too, aren't you? And she's been managed to go through. So her coaches, she used to be coached by Bruce Scriven. Then I think she's coached by
Ned Brophy now.
Brophy Williams. Yeah, Ned Brophy Williams. So they've done a good job keeping her on the track.
One thing we also didn't chat about was, like, speaking of longevity, when was the last time that Stewie McSwain wasn't on a national team? Be a while, wouldn't it?
Well, Com Games in 2018, I reckon he was. Was he? He definitely wouldn't have been Rio Olympics. 2019,
he was a teammate of yours, Moose?
Yeah, he was there.
So 2018. What was 2017? Hang on, I'll open up Linden's post again and see.
It was London World Champs.
London. Yeah, I think it would be 2018 for Stewie.
Yeah, so...
him and Morgan McDonald had that... remember Morgan won the trials?
Yeah.
In the white Vince Constant kit.
My team. I'm going Peter Bowl for the best performing Aussie. I think the guy's ranked 8th, 9th on times this year. Proven performer on the world stage. Look, I do think Jess is going to be the best performing female, but I'll go Claudia Hollingsworth. Just broke the Aussie record. Confidence is high, and she's just continuing to improve. So I think if she has a really good championship, she could make the final, which I think would be amazing. And I'm going to go Cam as the up and comer. I think if he has a good championship, not only will he make the final, but he'll be in that top sort of five or six. So yes, I'll go Pete, Claudia, and Cam.
It's going to be exciting. You can get involved as well. So keep an eye on our social media. We've got a competition. There's a prize valued at $212 there, thanks to Axel Coffee. It's an Axel travel pack. Pick a side, but you need to do it quick because entries close on this competition at 11:59 p.m. on Friday, September the 12th. And this giveaway is not sponsored, endorsed, administered by any association with Instagram. Want to make your next race day the best one yet? Well, dialing in your nutrition strategy is one of the most effective ways you can do that. Luckily, our show sponsor, Precision Fuel and Hydration, offers you the chance to do this in the most effective way possible. Book a free consultation with their team to fine-tune your fueling plans. Emphasis here on you, as they offer tailored advice based on your circumstances and the race you're taking on. They're there to help you achieve your goals all year long, and as mentioned, this service is free of charge and a great opportunity to ask them any questions you may have about fueling and hydrating for your race. No question is too daft for them. We've loved Precision for a long while, and this free service is another reason why. Use the link in the show notes and use code IR-Spring2025 for 15% off your first order and start smashing those goals today. Track meet in Germany, Moose.
Yes, there was. Let me tell you who was in it. So we had pretty much MTC and Jack Anstey. Is it Jack Anstey managed by the MTC group?
Don't know.
Don't know the answer to that. Men's 1500, Jude Thomas. He ran this after selection, so it didn't count for anything, but it's pretty good showing of form for him. He ran 3:31.87. Did he win that, Croaks?
Second,
Croaks. That's good. Moves to number 6 fastest Aussie of all time. Jack Anstey was second in 3:33.93.
Jack Anstey wasn't second, but he was in the race.
Yes. Well, he's second Aussie. Ran a PB, so that's good from him.
Managed by Stephen Haas.
Okay.
Who often gets the underarm athletes because he's an underarm boy, Jack.
Okay. Rose Davies was in the 15 with Izzi Batt-Doyle. Rose ran 4:08. Show some legs. Izzi Batt-Doyle 4:17. Big step down in distance for those two. In the 800, Sarah Billings ran 1:59.78 to beat, well, don't know if she beat, well, she definitely beat Georgia Griffith, who was the second Australian, 1:59.83. So they were close together. 3K, Jack Rayner, not quite showing the form we want leading into the World Champs. He ran 7:44 for 3K.
You concerned about Jack?
Yeah, I think so. We haven't really seen a result lately that sort of gives us an indication he's ready to perform at the World Champs in the 5,000. Not lately, anyway.
Is that 3 races over there too? 2 3Kers and a 5K? The 5K was hammering down rain, so you could kind of give him a mulligan for that. But the 3Ks probably don't help the form line.
But he's, wasn't that long ago, he was pacing Diamond Leagues going through 3K faster than that.
Yeah. No, he's definitely not in shape. Well, he's not in condition anyway. We haven't seen evidence of it. He might be smashing his training, but his races aren't showing it, if that's the case.
We'll see. Maybe he's just in a heavy block like Chriso. Just needs to freshen up a bit. Burnley Half Marathon. This was a great race. Very close together. I did catch them. They were zigzagging in between all the people they were lapping, but there was about 4 of them together with 500 metres to go. Tom Bowers got the win, 65.35. Going to say that's Tom's first AV win. Harry Norman, who was the state 5K champ a couple of years ago, 65.42. Ben Chamberlain, 65.45. Western A's scored 63 points. So that's where you finish in the race. That's how many points you get for your team. They had 5 people combined for 63 points. Box Hill second, 65. So really close race. Melbourne Uni third, 153. Donve Viljoen, she was first in the women's in 75.03. Erika Florez was second in 78.42. And Rach McGuinness. You still coaching Rach Moose?
Yep.
So did you see the video she put on, how windy it was? I didn't enjoy seeing that video on Strava. Yeah. I'm like, we need more stuff like that, Rach. How bad the weather is.
Everyone carrying on about that.
78.59, the team for the women's Box Hill 22. That's a tiny score as well. Melbourne Uni 92, South Melbourne 134 for third. Sad news coming out of this too, Croaks, because like Geelong, it's pretty much guaranteed that they're going to get relegated from Premier Division now. And I could go hard because I feel if the shoe was on the other foot and the Bendigo Bats were getting relegated, my co-host would be absolutely given to me. But I'm saddened. I think the competition is going to be a less of a competition without the likes of a strong team like Geelong being in Premier Division.
What's happened, Moose?
We've also struggled as well this season. I'm thinking, do they need to adjust from 10 rounds down to 6? Do they need to not make it a 6-man team? Do they need to make it a 4-man team? Because a lot of teams not all of them are struggling. And maybe I shouldn't just be bringing this up just because Bendigo Bats are now struggling as well. But to see Geelong have 2 people finish in the men's.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the glory days, Moose. Like, if someone checked in with Troopy or Brett Coleman or Craig Mottram, Brenton Rowe, there'd be people absolutely fuming with the club in this direction.
Wasn't an issue last year when Gunther was in charge. You need Gunther back.
What has happened, Moose?
Well, it takes a few things to go right. Like, it's definitely a combination of things that bring a squad together. You do need a leader that can call in favors and can kind of inspire people to show up out of respect for that leader. So when you had Brett Coleman doing it, like, that's easy. You show up for Brett.
You'd do anything for Brett Coleman.
Yeah, and then even with Matt, you know how much he sacrificed for the team and putting his time and his family almost aside to run the team, and also his training group was very strong at the time, so he could just bring in training. The training group would want to run as a group, but that group, we're in a rebuild, mate. Like, the talent's moved on. The talent's got kids. The talent works on Saturdays. And the kids coming up, they're actually really good. They're good runners, but they just don't have the probably the season-long strength to get through it. There's some longer races in there for the kids coming out of juniors that probably aren't suitable. By the time we realised we were going to be relegated, which, like, outside of a miracle, was pretty about mid-season, just after, I think people started to look elsewhere for things to do on the Saturday, which isn't great. Bit of a cultural thing there that probably needs to shift, I reckon.
It's hard with the major road races too. Like, we've been battered with people. So, like, me and Nath Stote did Ballarat Marathon, so it wipes you out for the first couple of rounds. And then you got people who go to the Gold Coast, and there was a race the week before and after Gold Coast. People doing Sydney last week don't want to do a half marathon the week after. Like,
Yep.
I think that it actually needs to be a deeper conversation, being like, is the model as sustainable as it once was when people prioritised the 10 rounds, and that was what you did, and that's you rock up every couple of weeks and you run for your club.
Yeah. No, I think it is a competitive environment. It's also not that cheap anymore. Like, it costs a bit to do it. And as you said, like, you've traveled down from Echuca, had to stay overnight, accommodation, race in the morning, drive all the way home. Like, that is an investment of time, energy, sacrifice. You brought the family this time, so it gets more expensive. Like,
it cost you a hotel room.
Exactly. And like, I don't mind traveling to Melbourne for a race, but 10 times a year, or like,
especially when they pull your regional race out of the, like, that was hard for us in Bendigo when they're like, you no longer get a race. Like, we're going to take one of the 10 out. But it'd be interesting to see how it goes, because I feel like it's only headed in one direction, but I could be wrong. Ask the Western Athletics guys and Melbourne Uni and those guys, they're getting around at Box Hill.
Ballarat's like the opposite. They're up and coming. They're loving it. They're getting the team together, big pump ups.
I'm concerned with you. Like, do you ever get, like, it's hard to come out of Divi too, because it's competitive. You get 2 or 3 teams every year that, like, prioritise trying to get into Premier Division.
Yeah. I think Geelong needs to we need to come together as a group training wise and have Sunday long run. We had a great group going mid-year, and then people got sick and that kind of stuff. But, like, if you can pull together a Sunday long run group and the banter's strong and the bonds form and people start want to run for each other on the Saturday, that's how we'll come back. And that's going to take some leadership, like, from someone who has the time and effort to put their hand up.
Yeah, need that cohort of, like, 22 to 27-year-olds who don't have kids. They can run a half marathon or they can run a quick 5K. Because it's such a good product. And I don't know if they need more morning races, like knock them over at Sunday morning at 9 a.m. every time. Don't make them 2:30 in the afternoon. Anyway, I'm sure the smart people at Athletics Victoria are thinking. Fifth Avenue Mile happened as well in New York, point-to-point mile race. They get money halfway through, don't they? They still do that? It's like a pay halfway through the race?
Yeah, I think so.
This was pretty much everyone who didn't make the World Champs. I wanted to try and pick up some cash And Yared Nagoose got the win in 3:48. Parker Wolf was second in 3:49. Drew Hunter third, 3:49. Stewie was back in 13th, 3:53. Gracie Morris, 4:16. Kaylee DeLay was second in 4:18. And Carissa Schweitzer, she didn't make the US team. That's the first time she hasn't made a team in a while.
She did have
4:18 for third.
She did have a major injury, I think, so was obviously ran out of time to get super fit.
Yeah. My last bit of news as well is that Sinead Diver and Stewie McSwain will run the Melbourne Half Marathon in 5 weeks' time. This is good. You're talking about people getting support on the side of the road. I don't know if they'll be stopping for high fives and the power up buttons on posters, but they're going to have a lot of support on the streets of Melbourne. So good. And they're kind of coming from similar stories, I guess, where it's like, come home. We want to see you guys race. I feel like, Sinead's been home for a while, but yeah, this is great to see both these two going hard on the roads of Melbourne Half Marathon.
I can't remember the last time Stewie actually raced Melbourne Marathon. I know he paced Sinead that year. I'm pretty sure. The year that she
didn't he pace Jack last year or not?
No, I don't think so.
No, who paced Jack last year?
Stewie was at the finish line last year.
Ran with Gregson.
Yeah, that's right, and Reece Edwards.
Stewie used to do the 10Ks. He used to. I reckon he's won a couple of them.
Yeah, in the Mizuno kit before he was a big dog.
Yeah,
Mizuno got him early.
I've got one bit of news, Brady, for our UK listeners. The Great North Run, iconic event over there. In the men's race, Alex Mutiso, he got the win 60:52, beat Bashir Abdi 60:58, and Abel Kipchumba was third in 61:01. I believe it was pretty strong headwind for the majority of the race. In the women's, Shayla Chepkarui got the win 69:32, beat Vivian Chariot in 69:37, and Eilish McColgan was third in 69:42.
Yeah, I watched some of it today, Croaks. It's such a cool race. Super windy. It always seems like it's feral weather over there. Jake Smith actually had a pretty good run too.
Yeah, 63 maybe?
Yeah, I think he was second Englishman across the UK resident or whatever they're called over there. Across the line. So good to see him back. Thanks to Axel Coffee for this week's running news. Check them out at axelcoffee.com.au. Time to review some Asics shoes, boys. Massive thanks to Asics for their support of the Inside Running podcast. We have 2 pairs of shoes to review this week. Strategically waited for Moose to return, Croaks. We've got the Megablast and the Sonicblast. Firstly, Moose, as someone who doesn't pay a lot of attention to running shoes, is it getting a bit confusing? I feel like every time a pair of shoes arrive at my house, I message you and go, so is this like a tempo shoe? Is it an easy jogging shoe? Is it a workout shoe? Is it like an all-rounder? Like, where does it sit on the wall? Because I feel like a lot of our listeners would be like, well, we're familiar with the Nova Blast, the Keanu, the Super Blast. We know they're racing shoes with the Meta Speed, Edge, and Paris. But like, where do these two, cool names by the way, Mega Blast and Sonic Blast, actually fit into the whole scheme of things?
Well, you kind of can see the theme Asics are going with the Blast type family. You have the Dynablast, which is like an entry level shoe. No one really wears that. It's a sort of a cheaper option. Then you have the Nova Blast, which I think a lot of people, you blokes both wore Nova Blast in the past. Nova Blast is like soft daily trainer, light but not super light, poppy not super poppy, stable not super stable. It's an
all-rounder.
It's an all-rounder. But it's not super really in any way, and it's relatively well priced at $240. Then as you go up, you're sort of moving into Super Blast, and this Mega Blast, Sonic Blast, Super Blast sort of trio will become more polarized when an upgrade of an existing shoe hits the market in March and gets some pretty different, get some significant changes that pushes it more into a polarized position next to the Mega Blast. At the moment, you've got the Super Blast, which uses like beautiful bouncy foam. It's sort of the goat. We've called it the goat because it's stable, it's cushioned, it's stiff. It can handle a long run. It can handle a slow run. It can handle some faster pace. It's very durable. I think it's the best running shoe ever made. So when you get two others come into this family, you really worry that they're not going to live up to what the Superblast has delivered. They have to provide something they don't. The Megablast I'm describing it as a faster Superblast because it's lighter. The upper on the shoe is not as durable, I'll say. It's a thinner upper. It's probably not as supportive feeling. It's a lot lighter weight. You'll find these types of uppers on race shoes rather than on training shoes, which gives it that really light feel. It's a little bit of a tighter fit. So less volume in the shoe means a performance type fit. When you start picking the pace up, your foot won't move around in the shoe as much. So you have a lot more of a responsive feel. In some training shoes where the toe box is generous and they're generally like a more comfortable feel, once you start running fast, your foot slips a bit and you lose energy because of this movement inside the shoe. So this shoe is a more dialed in fit. The underneath, it's a new foam. So the new foam they're using here isn't in the Superblast right now. It's called Flight Foam Turbo Squared. I don't know. This is where Asics sort of makes it could be confusing with all the flight foam options they got. They got Flight Foam Turbo, Flight Foam Turbo Plus, Flight Foam Blast Max, Flight Foam Turbo Squared. So essentially, if you put this shoe on next to a Superblast, it's bouncier. The foam is softer, so there's a little bit more kind of like give the like on a suspension in a car. You sink a little further into this, but this one here, you bounce up pretty quickly as well. So it's a little bit more performance-based midsole. Not quite as stable. Don't think it'll be quite as durable, but I think you'll put it on and you'll want to run faster. Still stiff, not quite as stiff as a Superblast. The Superblast has like this layer of foam at the very bottom that keeps the shoe really rigid throughout a run, throughout its life. This shoe doesn't have that, which keeps the weight down, keeps it a bit softer, but I think it'll wear out slightly quicker. This is probably the best race shoe for someone who's running slower. I don't think there's a better option for a 3.5 plus marathoner, given that this shoe fits you well.
It is it's the shoe of the year. I reckon I can call it now, start of September, that this is the best. I'm not using it as a race option, but I think this is the best Sunday long run. Also has the versatility of having your legs banged up and you want to put something on for an easy 45 minutes. And the way it fits, the way that foam feels under your feet, I got both of them, and this one I'm addicted to already. I've been telling mates, get yourself a pair. I've had a few years out of I'm more of a Nova Blast and a Superblast guy because it was a bit more affordable. Plus I felt like I was maybe overdoing it a bit on the Superblast. But now I've just jumped straight into Megablast, and I'm like, I want to buy 5 pairs and have, a Monday, Tuesday pair, a Wednesday pair like this. If you said to me, this is the only shoe you're allowed to run in for the rest of the year, I am, convinced. It's a fantastic shoe.
I can't add much because I've been injured, but I've been looking forward to getting it on.
You will love it in Mulligans.
Especially given the hype that's been around it for the last before it was even released. You hear rumors like Sam Hopper's been wearing this shoe, and I think even Tommy may have had it. It's
early.
Just hinting at the Superblast was good, but this thing's next level. I've tried it on, but obviously haven't run. And then with the Sonicblast, I noticed for me there's a really distinct sort of rocker in it. But Moose, isn't the Sonicblast, is that designed for faster running, but it's actually a heavier shoe
and way firmer than the Megablast?
Sonicblast could be a little bit of a lost puppy, I reckon. It's got a plate in it, but the plate's not carbon. So it's a P-Bax plate, which is more flexible. So the idea is that it's not as aggressive as a carbon-plated shoe. It's definitely more stable than their race shoe due to the firmer foam. It's 2 layers. So Flight Foam Turbo Squared, which is the same thing in Megablast, but they've put that at the bottom, and above it is the Flight Foam Turbo is a Flight Foam Blast Max, which is the firmer foam, is above the plate. So the initial feel underfoot is quite firm, and then you feel the plate, which is sort of sits midway through, and then the soft stuff at the very bottom. Now, what I've found is that gives a much firmer feel to shoes than if you swap the foams around. So if this shoe had a softer foam above the plate, I think you're going to get a like that bouncier feel or that softer feel, because this one, I took it out of the box 30K on a long run, and I did really like it, actually. Like, it felt nice once you started to get going. And I know Nitter, he said it took about 50, 60 Ks to start to break in and get a little bit more flex to it, because it's pretty stiff out of the blocks. But yeah, I think this shoe could have got a little bit more of the good stuff in the foam. So, like the Megablast foam. And they're releasing it at the same time. I don't think was a great idea. I think they should have sort of separated that a little bit, because everyone's questioning, like, why would I buy this when the Megablast is there? And I kind of have the same feel. Like, if you wanted to do a faster long run, for me, the Megablast is that shoe. Sonicblast, probably better at very fast paces. Just that plate keeps it a little bit snappier than sinking too far into the foam. When we run faster, we have more force, and in a soft foam, you can sort of, like, it can get a little bit spongy or mushy. But the Sonicblast being firmer means you can put a little bit more load into that shoe without it feeling like that. But yeah, for most people, I think the Megablast is where the action's at.
Do they still do the glide ride? Because that had the rock. Like, this feels the rocker kind of vibe about the Sonicblast, like the glide ride used to.
So the glide ride is more of a therapeutic option for people that require a rocker to unload the big toe joint. The shoe's still runnable, absolutely, but the rocker is a lot further back than the Sonicblast. The Sonicblast is a lot further forward, and it does have a plate in there, but the plate isn't performance orientated; it's therapeutic orientated. So it's good for someone who has big toe joint arthritis or plantar fasciitis, someone that really needs like that roll without the big toe moving at all.
Does that rocker of the Sonicblast, like, a bit similar to the Hyperion Max 3? Do you reckon it's a similar sort of shoe?
Have to be same category, wouldn't it?
It's same category for sure. I feel like the Hyperion rocker is a little bit more exaggerated. And that's probably, like, the other complaint for me with the Sonic was I didn't get enough rocker for how stiff the shoe was. I felt like I was having to really work off that plate a little, where if this shoe had a little bit more scoop through the plate, I reckon we're on. So the Sonicblast, switch the foams around, scoop the plate a little bit more. That would be a really, really fun shoe, in a different vein to where the Megablast is fun.
Does it ever get to a stage where it's like, as a retailer, you're choosing to put stuff on your wall, you're like, I'm overwhelming the consumers just with the Asics stuff alone?
What about the cost involved? So from Asics, like, I got Kayano wide. I got the Nimbus wide. I got the Glide Ride wide. I got a Novablast Trail. We got the Super Blast in multiple colors. We got the Megablast, the Sonicblast, the Metaspeed Edge, both Sky and Edge.
Kayano Light. Let's do Kayano.
No, that's gone now. I said I got the GT 2000 in standard and wide. I got the Cumulus in standard and wide. So that is a lot of shoes. That's why I'm going to Tokyo, boys. Because I don't say no to Asics. They show me a shoe, I say, yep, get on the wall.
Well, that's what I mean. They're dominating in so many different areas. It's just like, and because everything they're sending is good. It's not like
that is the thing.
We won't order that. And same with their ratio. I still think the Sky and the Edge, it's flip a coin for me. Like, I'm loving both those shoes.
Even Asics trail shoes are good now. The Trabuco and the Trabuco Max we have. And then we also have this Trabuco Max. It's like the Mount Trabuco. It's like the trail shoe with like a high cut for hiking on it. They're sensational. I've never seen it. Like, this brand has turned themselves around, and it's all through product. Like, yes, they're jumping in the community a bit more. Like, you see, they've got wear tests. Actually, we're doing a wear test with them tomorrow in Geelong. But it's all product related. Like, you can have the best wear test in the world, but if someone doesn't like your shoe, they're not going to buy it.
We've said that a few times on here. Like, when we started the podcast, I reckon Asics were in that they were just complacent. Like they were real comfortable with their niche, Kayano, triathletes, that sort of thing. And then they worked on their training shoes. Their race shoes weren't great. And then they've caught up with the race shoes and now across the board, just phenomenal.
Thank you to Asics. Yeah, I think the Megablast, unless something comes in these last couple of months, Moose, it's my shoe of the year when we get to the award show at the end of the year. I'm loving it. We appreciate their support of the Inside Running podcast. Haven't got any whispers this week yet, but this week, fellas, but I do have a new segment, and it's called Dumb Shit I've Heard on Other Podcasts this week. Do you want to hear something, Croaks? Have a listen to this.
I want to know why, like, where do you find the time to listen to other podcasts?
Well, some of them are our podcasts. So we've got new programming and stuff as well here. So I just want to play you a bit of audio here, boys, and just listen to this.
Gun goes, first K, so downhill. Like, I know Brady said, he ran 3:20 for his first K. I'm like, it's fucking hard not to. Like 3:20 was with the brakes on hugely, and I got swamped by like 500 people, I reckon. So that was certainly not a rash decision going out at 3:20, I don't think.
I get it, Moose. You got to be safe out there. Big downhill, the first K, swamped by 500 people, Croaks. So you'd imagine by the time he gets to and I'll have an exaggeration as good as anyone, but by the time he gets to the 5K timing mat, guess what position he's in? He's been swamped by 500 people, plus he's probably been another couple hundred since then.
55?
86.
Yeah, I caught 400 of them.
Where did these 500 people?
They went past me and I re-caught them up the hill.
I had a good laugh about that one. Second one, Croaks. Have a listen to these 2 tips for marathoners who are running Sydney Marathon on the boat on Thursday night. You got any tips to start us off, Moose?
I got 2 quick ones.
Okay.
The downhill, I don't think you want to be banking time. Like Leo said, this isn't like you go downhill, you got to have a lot of adrenaline at the same time. You're coming off a taper, everything's feeling great, a lot of movement around you, a lot of people going out way too hard ahead of you. This is not the time to get carried away. This is where you bank heartbeats. And you're going to use those heartbeats later in the race when you're coming back up the hills, when you're starting to feel a bit tired. That's when you want to be tapping into the credit that you've accumulated. Right, last one for me then is you save some energy to appreciate the finish line that you're about to come into, because this last downhill that you go through down the long road, long downhill, and then you turn the corner and you see the Opera House, and you're running through like a full straight line with crowd, and you've got an amphitheatre sitting on the steps of the Opera House. It's the best finish line I think I've ever run through, and I can just imagine how deflating it would be if you were coming through there not happy or very uncomfortable in your running. So I know it's like we like to exhaust ourselves and all that, but I think it's the finish line worth like drinking in.
You are not going to keep that in this podcast,
so
surely.
Probably shouldn't call it dumb shit I've heard on other podcasts, because both those tips were brilliant. But I'm just wondering why the tips don't apply for yourself. Say as I do. Say as I say, not as I do.
God, you got some time on your hands, Brady.
No, didn't he really cut up rough about those comments on the show? He has come in hot tonight, this boy.
These are the ones that people are sending me. You need.
He's got multiple segments going on just to try to get it back.
It is a really good recording system, this one.
We finally got him off the fence, though, Moose.
Yeah.
It'll trigger me.
Tell you what,
personally.
Some horrible audio. The whole podcast wasn't like that, was it?
Yeah, it was, but we couldn't control that.
That was no good.
People still listen to it. That boat was pretty rocky. You couldn't control that at all.
You can't let that go to the air. That is terrible stuff.
The whole show went to air with that quality. Anyway, I just love it. Just another contradiction, Croaks. All the advice is perfect.
Oh man, this boy's blood was boiling. I like this. This is a good way to get him going.
Good way to get me going. That's my contribution in my Whispers segment this week. Have you done your moose on the loose here, or you want to go it again? Because we've kind of discussed what's written here.
I might change it right now, actually.
Folks who have too much time on a Monday. Nerds on their computers who can cut up audio.
I actually got a new segment, and we sort of brought it up on
Here we go.
on Road to Sydney. what's on your algorithm this week?
Oh,
So
okay.
you
I
just
thought
get.
this was the one. What are you working on this week? Because I also
Nah.
enjoyed that segment.
Well, I like that segment, but at the moment, I'm too injured to care about that.
I was getting a lot of Sydney Marathon stuff last week, like a lot of Sydney Marathon reels. Footy, I'm getting a lot of footy stuff, given it's like
ya?
footy finals time. Yeah.
Now, what's a real odd thing?
What are we looking at here?
So, like, what's popping up on your algorithm as in a trend? So, what I'm getting is like middle-aged, tattooed guys who live in Bali who do like self-help motivational talking, and yet they're trying to sell you a course where they like give you it's like a life coaching course, and they all live in Bali and they all like show you what a day in their life is of going to the gym and having a smoothie and all that shit.
Is this
So
on
you mean
Instagram?
Go to like the search thing on Instagram.
Yeah, so like you end up you watch a video and then you just go to the next one.
Guess what's on mine?
Oh, like probably girls in bikinis.
No, I've got people cutting up shoes. I've got the two photos of the Asics Megablast. I've got Kipchoge there. I've got Leo Pedersen running in a suit. I've just got all running stuff. Got Jack Rayner's going to do Melbourne Marathon, more shoe stuff.
I got a lot of softcore pornography.
Don't know if you want to be saying that.
There's no way around it.
No, I don't have any bikini stuff.
Really?
Just all running stuff and footy stuff. Tim Watson predicting the premiership winner. More Kipchoge. What do you got, Croaks? Raiders.
I got a bit of cycling stuff.
You blokes are lying out of your ass.
No, I'll show you mine. Mine is just running everywhere. Running and triathlon. I don't know why triathlon stuff's up here. Triathletes hate me.
The Ruvi app, which is like a cycling app.
Oh yeah, your search history's Instagram's found your search history.
I got Jog on Crago reviewing shoes. Anyway, Jakob Ingebrigtsen. I thought you thought that's
very, very selective from you two blokes.
I'll screenshot my phone if you want to. I don't mind that though. Listener question, Croaks, bring the show home.
All right. This episode's listener question is proudly brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. And the question is, should recovery runs be done on the flat to keep your heart rate low, or is it okay to do them over hills?
So recovery runs, the purpose is to recover actively. So there should be no added stress in this run. You should do them flat. You should do them without heat involved. You should do them in your cushioned, stable shoes. You shouldn't run fast on them. Like this should be low heart rate, low muscle recruitment. Think of this as like you're not trying to stress the body in any way outside some very low heartbeats.
Can we also
you run heaps of hills though, Moose, on your like easy runs?
He doesn't have any option. I've been there. Single trail hills. Also, like don't add time to your easy runs. Like if you're working to a coach, like maybe there's two types of recovery runs. So, for example, I had 45 minutes only today. Tomorrow I've got like a 50-minute and a 40-minute double. And like the 50-minute and 40-minute day might be where you start adding some hills in, maybe going 10 seconds a K quicker. But like I see, because I follow heaps of people on Strava and stuff, people just like their easy day after a race or a really hard workout might be that 80 minutes. And you're like, I reckon you want to recover off that easy day. I know you can talk about that old Wednesday Croaks pushing a 90-minute midweek long run, but it comes with some risk, especially if you're on the Tuesday, Friday program.
Yeah, so I like
recovery days are recovery, I'm trying to say.
But the thing is, like most of your sessions, unless you're doing hilly, so that means though, just about every run, you get no elevation in your week because if it's just a pure, so you do your sessions on the flat, everything else is recovery runs. Whereas I like to have a run where I am actually adding elevation and it's probably a harder run, which would be like my Wednesday run. So that Tuesday, Wednesday sort of combo. And then the Thursday is a flat run, easy run to then recover for the Friday session.
Yeah,
so I try and mix it up.
It could be Thursday, Saturday, Monday for you, or other people it might be Wednesday. If they're doing Tuesday, Friday workouts, it could be Tuesday, Saturday, Monday.
Yeah. I think you can't do every recovery run over hills, because even if you're keeping your heart rate down, your legs are still just going to be tired. So I think you need to have some recovery runs on the flat.
Definitely. Yeah. Recovery on the flat. Like when I'm training a lot, drive to the flat. Like I'll drive down the bottom of the hill, run around the river twice, rather than run over near my house. The fact is that I run hills because I'm not really recovering from anything at the moment. Just another run.
Yeah, and the hills are also, when you're building back, probably a good way to sort of get you fit in a way.
Exactly.
As well.
Get some heart rate.
So convenient for you too, Moose. Like you got times probably not on your side. Going from your front door is a whole lot different than driving somewhere for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you can see some of the horrendous loops I do just to stay flat. Like on my Stravas, even before Sydney, just up, back, round, fucking twice, 3 times. It's not good. It's not good, like, entertainment, that's for sure.
One thing I like about hilly runs when you're coming back is you can get some really good, I guess, cardiovascular gains, because those runs almost turn into fartlek, because when you're not very fit, doesn't matter how slow you run up a hill, like your heart rate's still going to be getting fairly high. So you're getting, I guess, those cardio gains, but you're not actually banging up your legs too much because you're running fairly slow. And then the fitter you get, the more you can sort of run up the hills without the heart rate really spiking.
And they might be your workouts when you're coming back.
Maybe.
Just doing hilly runs, just being on the hills for an hour.
Yeah. But if you want to feel good for your session days, keep heart rate low, look after your legs, keep everything flat.
Easy days, easy.
Yeah.
Good question. Good point there. Thanks to Precision Fuel and Hydration. Visit precisionhydration.com and use the code IR-SPRING 2025 for 15% off your first order. I used another product, not going to say the product, at Sydney. And boy, it was different to Precision. It was so, when you put something in your mouth and you're like, my mouth, just the texture. I'm so addicted to the Precision texture and like the no flavor. And then sometimes if you jump, some of those other brands have some crazy flavors and the thickness of it. I forgot about this world that we haven't been with Precision. All right, what's coming up, Moose? You're going to the World Champs. Safe travels. Jealous. Imagine how good it'd be going to Japan, getting the family marts over there, the 7-Elevens.
That's what I'm looking forward to, the 7-Elevens, Brady.
They give you a Visa card for all your expenses over there?
No, I don't think so. Hopefully there isn't. Like, we're staying at the hotel and then we're going to the sessions
for the
each day.
7-Elevens. They should give you a bit of a visa, maybe.
Don't think I'll need to go there too often, mate. I think we're on a trip that's got a guide. Leanne's coming. Leanne will be there. So I get to
we have to replace you again next week, do we, Moose?
Yeah, you do.
Are you going to do any of these daily episodes or not?
I hope not. No. This is like,
we might just try to patch it in for like.
You can patch me in, yeah.
If we're on air, just be like, hey, click the code on the app and just join us for like 5 minutes on the bus or something. We'll see how that goes.
I'll probably be at the event, like when you're recording, like in the evening session. Oh, actually, Monday.
We'll wait.
Yeah, I'll be at the event.
I don't know. We need to do the schedule.
Some events are like pretty late for us, so that we wouldn't record till the next day.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
We need to get a roster sorted, Croaks.
But for the main show, I'm saying I might be at the event during the main show, but you probably have someone else on.
Yeah, it might be easier. Being a longer show. Yeah. What are they? 2 hours behind us?
2 or 3, I think.
Yeah, okay. What do you got coming up, Croaks? Not going to Japan?
Not going to Japan. I'm going to sit in an MRI machine tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I actually got to catch up with Andre Lagersh tomorrow, like a just scheduled appointment. And then we can hopefully get back to some jogging this week if the scan comes back clear. And footy finals. Raiders play their first final Sunday arvo.
If you win, you get through to prelim.
Week off, yeah.
Week off. What about Geelong Cats, Moose? How good were we on Saturday night? Everyone's tipping us. We're home and host.
I wouldn't think so. Nah,
that's what we spoke about for the first 7K of that race on Sunday.
It was a good game.
Yeah.
It was a good game.
Put them away, the Brizzy Bears.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, boys. Good to have you back, Moose. Miss you next week, but we'll hear your voice, no doubt. Patreon supporters, get ready. Every day we'll be having some kind of show come out talking about what happens at the World Champs. Great for you, not great for us. We're over it by the end of it, but these are the things we do for you guys because we appreciate your support so much. See you, boys.
Have a good week.
See ya.
Want to make your next race day the best one yet? Well, dialing in your nutrition strategy is one of the most effective ways you can do that. Luckily, our show sponsor, Precision Fuel and Hydration, offers you the chance to do this in the most effective way possible. Book a free consultation with their team to fine-tune your fueling plans. Emphasis here on you, as they offer tailored advice based on your circumstances and the race you're taking on. They're there to help you achieve your goals all year long, and as mentioned, this service is free of charge and a great opportunity to ask them any questions you may have about fueling and hydrating for your race. No question is too daft for them. We've loved Precision for a long while, and this free service is another reason why. Use the link in the show notes and use code IR-SPRING2025 for 15% off your first order and start smashing those goals today.